Now that you have a part file open, we're going to make a 2D sketch so we can start to draw out your design. This would be the front view of your sketch, and we're going to select the front side of our planes that are displayed in front of us by highlighting it and left clicking. Now we're going to rough out the shape just using simple rectangles, and we always want to start at the origin just to kind of get in the habit of doing that. So there's my rough shape. I know it's not right yet. When I go back and add dimensions, I know that each cube is 0.75. So 2 cubes should be 1.5. And using that kind of logic, I should be able to finish my sketch. That looks about right. Finished sketch is located in the top right hand corner of your screen. It'll take it into an isometric view. If you double click your middle mouse button, it'll zoom back away from it. It just fits everything inside of the viewing window. I'm going to now extrude out pieces of this, and I know that it's only a 3/4 inch cube, so I'm going to extrude it out 0.75. Now on the back side of this, I'm going to make a new sketch by right clicking and selecting new sketch. Go back to my 2-point rectangle. And this actually snaps into place when it gets close to what it thinks you want it to do. There's a way to disable that. For right now, it's kind of nice. There's my first puzzle piece. I'm going to change the color of it so it matches what I have at the front of the room. It's an orange piece, so I'll select orange from my list and move on to the next part. I won't do near as much talking through this one. You should be able to get the gist of it by watching and following along. Remember, you cannot extrude things at different distances, so you have to make multiple sketches if you have a complicated part. To change color, it's right up here on default material, and we're just changing that to whatever would best match our block. If you do happen to mess up, you can just right click and choose restart, and it'll start you back over where you were before. And if you happen to change your mind on something, like for instance, I decided it'd be easier to make this part if I didn't extrude both of those faces. You can either just divide it off and it'll give you two different options on what to extrude, or you can ignore it. To change the direction it's extruding, for instance, I want this shape to go, let's get that back. I want this shape to go that direction. I have to choose direction 2. I was hoping I'd have a better looking green than that. There we go. If you want to space something out so it's right in the middle of another object, there's a couple of ways you could do it. I could choose this bottom line and this line and say that I want a 0.75 space in between them, and that will shift it up. I could also get rid of that dimension entirely and choose this horizontal constraint. This is constraining the geometry of whatever I happen to click on. In this instance, I want this midpoint in this line and the midpoint of this big rectangle to match up. Now they're horizontally aligned. And if I checked with the dimension, this should still be 0.75. We have one last part. again. I kind of missed my snap point, so I just clicked on restart. I bring this back up to where it should be. Missed my snap point again. Right click, restart. I still have my 2-point rectangle selected. Connect my corners. And it did not seem to like that. It doesn't know what exactly I want to extrude. So now I have to go back into my sketch and redefine this to make it more clear. At this point, I'm not sure what more it wants. So instead, I'm going to go back and edit my original sketch. And we'll just trim out both of these lines. It's a tool called trim. It takes whatever line you're hovering over, and the dotted section is removed from the drawing. So now let's finish our sketch. I'm actually going to go back and delete my original extrusion, but I'm going to keep my sketches and features. And I'm going to try to extrude this piece, and it's still gonna give me problems. This will be added to the next video.